Time really goes by fast, and I bet everyone has moments they'd love to revisit. So Javier, is there a time in your life or an event you would like to go back to?
I mean, both my kids are grown now. I'd love to have them as babies again, minus the diapers.
There is that.
What about you?
For me, it was an adventure of hiking in the Wasatch Range in Utah, being on top of a ridge, and it felt like the whole world was falling away beneath us. It was just amazing.
Wow, sounds incredible.
Well, on today's show, we're stepping back in Ohio's history with a couple of unique tours. If you've ever wondered what it was like to live in Ohio back in the late 19th century, Ohio Village is a great place to go.
Architectural historian Jeff Darby heads over to the village now to find out more about its history.
If you're interested in history, then you've got to go to the Ohio History Center up here on 17th Avenue in Columbus. You can learn a lot about Ohio history, but it's not the only thing. There's also Ohio Village, which was built to create the sense of a village of the 19th century. And we're going to visit today and talk to some people about where the idea came from, how they use the village today, and I think we'll have a pretty interesting visit. Hello, Megan.
Hi, it's great to see you.
Nice to see you. Thanks for inviting us to Ohio Village today.
We're happy to have you here.
Well, I'm glad to learn more about it. It's been here a while.
Yes. So Ohio Village comes out of this idea of having a living history site, places that are existing like Colonial Williamsburg and Greenfield Village. There was this tradition that was popping up of these living history places. But unlike those, we have no historic buildings. These are all buildings that were built specifically to be here at Ohio Village, but to represent what would be in a town in the mid-19th century.
So it's a rural, not a county seat, but within striking distance of a county, you might say, a county seat.
And in that time period, this proximity that we are now to downtown, which is really nothing, would have been the country. And so we can also talk about that conceptually in actual space of how cities have grown.
Well, I've been looking forward to a tour around. If you're ready to start out,
let's go.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, great. The first building I'd like to take you in is our school in the Ohio Village.
Well, every village needs a school. Education was important. Something seems familiar.
Yeah, and it's in some ways familiar, in some ways very different. And this building was added to Ohio Village after we opened. We actually opened without a school in 1974, and it came on later. But it's a very typical style. If you drive anywhere around this country, you see a building that looks like this, it was probably a school, and it may have also been the church as well.
Well, how do you do the interpretation in a space like this? Do you have someone representing a teacher?
Yeah, oftentimes you have a teacher who's running the one-room schoolhouse, having all the kids sit together, all the grades together, which is a concept that not many kids today have grown up with generationally, and talking about the dunce cap and how discipline was different than it is today, and that everybody would be doing their lessons together.
My first day of first grade, I learned something quickly. There was an inkwell, and you can see in these desks, there's a room for it. Well, I didn't know it was an inkwell, so I looked and I saw a reflection of my eye, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I stuck my finger in and it came out blue. I learned really fast.
Lesson learned.
Yes. Well, I think I had enough schooling for today, but I know there's more to see.
Yeah, let's go on to the next building. And now we're entering our town hall.
Oh, nice public space. Was this based on the design of a specific town hall somewhere, or is it more of a composite?
It's really more of a composite, trying to be representative of town halls of this time period and this sort of size of village.
So it has a good sized room, can probably seat, 100 people or so. I noticed there's office for the marshal, law enforcement for the mayor, a stage, not real high, but enough to get people above the crowd, and then a lectern for speaking. That's pretty much the equipment of a town hall in those days.
Yeah, very simple, used for a lot of things. There could have been music, there could have been church programs, programs here, and then it allows us to do other sorts of programming. Right now we're set up for a chess club. We have a Pleasures of the Cup event where there's drinking and games. During All Hallows Eve, this would be a space where you'd be doing dancing up and down.
So people can contact the Ohio History Connection to see about use of this building?
We do event and community rentals in addition to our own programming.
Great, great. Well, I'm learning more and more. Shall we move on?
Yeah, let's go on to the
All
next
right.
building. We are coming up on the town square, and Ohio Village is designed around a square like many other towns would have been. And you see a variety of other buildings. We've got our pharmacy and our bakery, there's a bank, and there's different architectural styles here because even if a town we were showing in 1860, you'd have other buildings. But what I'd really like to show you next is our hotel.
Any good town would have a hotel to welcome the visitors.
Welcome to the hotel lobby.
Oh, that's a pretty classy place.
Yeah, and you can see the barber, you can check in at the hotel desk, and there's also a tap room. But we'll walk on through until the dining room.
Oh yeah, this definitely has to be the nicest space in the whole hotel. This would be open to the public. It would be available for guests. In those days, were meals typically included in a hotel room?
Oftentimes you could add on what you wanted. So maybe you're paying a few pennies or dollars for a hotel room, or maybe just your spot in the bed and then adding a meal on as part of your stay. So just depending on how rich you were as a traveler and how long you were staying.
What was the typical arrangement in those days? We have different standards today.
We do, that sometimes as a single traveler, or if you were a drover, so you were driving your horse and buggy and bringing stock in, you may just be buying space in a bed that you may share with multiple people, and then that can go up to having a private room. But just paying for the place to lay down was an option for many.
What might have been typical rates in those days in terms of what you might pay just like space in a bed? Under $1, I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
paying under $1 for a night of a space in a bed. And you know, that changes through the 19th century, but you know, in mid-19th century, that still would have been a great deal of money for someone traveling through.
I'm assuming $300 a year was probably a typical income.
Right, so to pay 50 cents to sleep in a bed with someone is not an inexpensive
That's
proposition.
a big chunk of money for people in those days. Well, it's a beautiful building and it's finished nicely. And again, this is probably a composite of typical hotels of the era, not designed to be a specific duplicate of one.
Exactly, and it's an Italianate style building. It is a fancier building in town because it's not necessarily a public use space. It's a revenue generating business.
Well, I think there's even more. I think we're not quite done with Ohio Village yet.
That's right, I have one more place I'd like to take
All right,
you.
let's have a look.
I can lead the way.
Thank you. That's a good-sized garden protected by a fence. Would that have been private or would it have been shared by several people?
This is a kitchen garden for the Schmidt house, so vegetables, herbs, something that would be typical at a farmyard.
Oh, I think I see where we're headed next. That is quite a building.
Yeah, this is our Ohio Village Church. The last stop, I want to show you inside.
Well, I notice the lighting level is fairly low. It's representing gas lighting or kerosene. These obviously are electric, but that's the idea, is to give a sense of what the lighting was like.
Yeah, so you can see what it would have looked like during the time period.
And two, this is a non-denominational church. It doesn't represent a specific religion or branch of a religion. It's intended for anybody who wants to have the experience of a church of that period.
That's correct. Like everything in Ohio Village, it's meant to be representative, and that way many people can see themselves in it and connect to the story.
Well, and speaking of connection, it's through the interpreters here that you really make that connection person to person. If somebody's interested in learning about this or even becoming an interpreter, what's involved?
Well, actually, I have a colleague who's going to meet you out in the town square who can tell you all about it. He's an Ohio Villager.
Well, I better go find him. Thank you so much. It's been a great visit.
Thank
I've
you.
learned a lot more than I knew before, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Hello.
Hi.
I understand I should come to you to learn about interpretation at Ohio Village.
Yeah, I'd love to chat with you.
How would someone train for learning interpretation like this? You need to have a good knowledge base.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everything that goes into it. Research is also a big part of it. So here we actually use composite characters. So we are not portraying any specific one person from history. We take from numerous different people and from different sources, and we put that all together, and you want to be able to really capture your audience, whether you are the mayor or just somebody working at the village.
Well, thank you. I've learned a lot today. I think I'm going to take a stroll through the 19th century.
Very good. Well, as the mayor of Ohio Village, enjoy your visit.
Thank you so much.
There are so many great places around Ohio that truly give you a snapshot of time, whether it's a historic person's life, a certain time period, or an experience that seems hard to fathom. Case in point, the Mansfield Reformatory.
This historic prison in Mansfield, Ohio, operated from the late 1800s until 1990. Now it's a tourist destination. Jeff Darby got an exclusive tour of the reformatory.
Ooh, this should be interesting.
Yeah.
Downtown Mansfield is looking fairly prosperous these days after a good deal of both public and private investment. It's one of these former industrial cities that did have some hard times, but it's really coming back. It's famed for having a wonderful carousel in the center of town. But we're headed outside of town to the old State Reformatory, which long ago was threatened with demolition, but by the work of a local group over many years has been preserved. It's a major tourist attraction. Movies are made there, so I'm looking forward to a very interesting visit to the old Mansfield State Reformatory. Hello, Ashley.
Hi, Jeff. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks so much for inviting us to the Reformatory today. So I'm interested in history and architecture. This was built what year?
We started construction September 16th, 1886. 1896, the west cell block was completed and we welcomed our first inmates then. Actual construction wasn't completed until 1910.
Now the architectural style, what would you say this is?
So it's a mix of Romanesque and Gothic architectural styles along with some Queen Anne.
And what was the idea of using architecture like this in a prison? Usually you just think of it as kind of a box where you put bad people, but it's more than that.
Our architect, Levi Schofield, was interested in inspiring inmates to a life of spiritual rebirth. He wanted them to feel inspired to turn away from a life of sin. So they wanted the reformatory to have a large, overreaching tone to it that was hopeful.
The building that stands now was not the entire facility. There was more. Isn't that right?
Correct. We only have the main building remaining at this point in time. When the reformatory was in operation, we had a 25-foot stone wall that encompassed quite a few outbuildings behind us as well.
Well, the outside is very impressive, but I know the inside probably is even more. So could I have a tour?
Of course, I'm happy to take you.
Oh, this is quite a room.
Yes, this has been exposed to the original brick in the reformatory here. As you may notice, the ceilings in this space have a wavy action to them that helps maintain the structure. And in this space, this is the first floor of the Ohio Corrections Museum. We feature not only items from the Ohio State Reformatory, but also items from other correctional institutions around the state. In this particular room, we have a lot of the furniture that the Glattke family used while here. Arthur Glattke was the longest serving warden here at the Ohio State Reformatory. Back in the 50s, he lived here on site with his family.
I think I saw a sign out in one of the other rooms that you have some artifacts from the Ohio Pen.
Yes, so the Ohio Pen, we have their original stained glass windows here in the main hallway as you're coming in. We also have the original electric chair that was used here in the state of Ohio. Never here at the reformatory, but it was used down at the Ohio Pen for the executions that took place.
Well, I've learned so much already. There must be a lot more. Do you have something else to show me now?
Of course, I have a lot more to show you.
Oh. Well, this is a bright, pleasant room.
Yes, this space features what it was like for a day in the life of an inmate. The Ohio State Reformatory offered enrichment programs for their inmates, so we offered sports and different kinds of activities they could take part in, including a band. So we had a wood shop here at the Reformatory. As part of our Reformatory program, all the inmates were taught a skill that they could then use to get a job when they were back out in society. The wood shop created a lot of furniture that was used here at the Reformatory, as well as sent to other government buildings throughout the state, the governor's office, schools, that kind of thing. And this mantle was from our shop.
Boy, it's beautifully done. They really were skilled. So the idea was that you didn't just lock people up to punish them. You tried to really try to reform them, to
Exactly.
teach them skills. And I noticed there's stained glass here as well. Kind of reminds you of the era of the 1880s. I think it was probably real popular then.
Yes, and the stained glass in this building is actually the original. After the Reformatory closed down, somebody shoved it away in a room, stuffed in boxes, and then when the Reformatory Preservation Society came back to start cleanup, we found a padlocked room with all the stained glass windows safely put away in boxes, and we put them back up.
That's really fortunate. There must be 100 more rooms we can look at, but let's choose some.
Okay, perfect, let's go.
Show the way. Well, this is quite a space. Now, what room are we in here?
We are currently in Warden Norton's office from the Shawshank Redemption.
I noticed the woodwork, the curved at the windows, the curved ceiling with the plaster trim and so on. How much of it is original?
Bits and pieces are original, but we have a fantastic restoration team here on site that was able to restore the building to what it would have looked like when it was in operation.
Well, you're not kidding. This is really good woodwork. And I noticed there's a safe in the wall.
This safe is the actual safe from the Shawshank Redemption.
Aha.
After it was closed down, we were able to get it back from a safe collector who was willing to donate it to us as long as we promised to put it right back in the wall exactly where it was in the movie.
That movie has drawn a lot of attention and there are a lot of fans, and it sure did a lot for the Reformatory.
Yes, absolutely. The wrecking ball was essentially sitting out front, ready to take the Reformatory down when Castle Rock Entertainment pulled up to film Shawshank Redemption.
Wow. How things happen just by chance.
We're very thankful Shawshank chose us.
Well, I'm ready to continue the tour.
Excellent, let's go.
Wow, what a space. This is really something.
It is, yes. This is the original chapel. At times, Protestant services, Catholic services, they were all run in this space. And all the inmates would just file in. That's the west cell block, that's the east. They would just file in, single file, to sit and attend Mass. And back when the chapel was in use, if you look along the side of the walls there, you can see where a balcony used to exist.
You can see.
Having that balcony was the only way we could fit all 1,900 inmates in this space.
Wow. Boy, it is a remarkable space, one of the most impressive ones. But I know there's more. So there's something else you want to show me, isn't there?
Of course, let's keep going.
Okay. So we're in a cell block. Which one is it?
This is the east cell block.
And the west was identical, just kind of a mirror image.
They were similar, but they did have differences. The west cell block was made out of concrete mortar and steel. It was easier to heat, easier to keep cool. Here in the east, it is comprised solely of steel. So in the winter, it's very cold, and in the summer, it's very hot. This is the largest freestanding steel cell block in the world. At 6 tiers high, right now we are 6 tiers up from the ground, and there is no taller cell block in the world.
When did the state abandon the institution and just walk away from it?
We closed our doors on December 31st, 1990. The last inmate left on December 30th, 1990. During that time, we sat empty for a couple years, and then the Shawshank Redemption was filmed here in 1993.
But by that time, you'd already formed the Preservation Association.
That's correct. The Mansfield Reformatory Preservation Society was formed in 1992. The state allowed us to have management over the property starting in 1995. We began cleanup efforts and started restoring the place. In 2000, we went to them and said, look at all the work we've done. We want to buy this from you. And the state said, we're not going to sell it to you, but we'll put it up to auction. You can come and bid on it if you want. So we showed up at auction. We were the only people there. We paid $1, which the state then donated back to us.
But what a great preservation story.
Yes,
I know we're not done yet. I know there's more to see. So again, lead the way.
of course.
Another great space.
Yes, this is the central guard room. So inmates would come into this space for processing when they first arrived to the reformatory. There used to be a bench that lined that wall. We would call it the sinner's bench. You would sit there and contemplate your crimes while you waited to be processed. All around you, you could hear the sights and sounds and smells of 1,900 men in these cell blocks while you waited to get processed in.
Now that you're an up and running historical facility, what kind of visitation do you get?
Yes, last year we had over 150,000 visitors to the reformatory.
Wow, that's remarkable.
Yes.
I suspect part of the attraction must be, I mean, you look at it, it's big and it's Gothic and it's scary, and there must be something about a haunted presence here.
So part of our programming is a paranormal program. We offer ghost walks and ghost hunts throughout the course of the year. I have heard quite a few stories.
What are some of the typical ones, or what are some of the places where people sort of had experiences?
So we get a fair amount of activity reports from the cell blocks themselves. Guests will hear people walking on the tiers or the sound of cell blocks opening and closing. It is rumored that we have a ghost cat on the 3rd floor of administration. There was one day I had a guest here. He was just taking the guided tour. He walked into one of the solitary confinement cells. His wife was behind him. There was no one else behind him. She didn't move, but he said, oh gosh, felt like he'd been shoved, and there was a handprint on his back as he left the solitary confinement cell. I was closing the building by myself one night, and it was the middle of winter, so there were no guests. I was the only employee here. Clear as a bell, I heard my first name called. I just heard Ashley, and there was no one else in the building.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm getting more and more convinced the more you talk.
There are many, many stories.
Well, that's got to be part of the reason people come.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been a really interesting day. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for coming by. We appreciate it.
Since our theme for this show is time, what better way to end than with a story about the Peter Pan statue located outside the main Columbus Library?
I see what you just did there, Charlene. He defied time, didn't he?
Yes, he did. You're quick.
If only it was possible. Well, let's get to that story before we lose any more time.
Now we're even, 1-1.
This is a picture of the Peter Pan statue and fountain in front of the main branch of the Columbus Metropolitan Library at 96 South Grand Avenue. The fountain was donated to the library by Charles Munson. He was the president of a pharmaceutical company, and he gave the statue in memory of his son George Peabody Munson, who died in 1884 at the age of 6 of scarlet fever. George was his only child, and he wanted to do something for the children of Columbus in his memory. And so Charles Munson died before the statue was completed, although he was able to meet with librarian John Pugh for the planning process. The statue itself was designed and made by May Cook. May Cook, who was born Mary Elizabeth Cook, in Chillicothe, Ohio in 1864, was a noted sculptor. She studied at The Ohio State University as well as in Paris. She is notable for her sculptures around town as well as her work with soldiers during World War I. She made plaster masks to aid in reconstructive surgery for soldiers who were injured in the war. The model for the Peter Pan was the son of a friend of hers, Rita Pfeiffer. The son's name was Richard Pfeiffer, maybe a name known to many in Columbus. That was Richard Pfeiffer Sr., who modeled, but Richard Pfeiffer Jr. was a municipal court judge and later the Columbus City Attorney.
Thanks for being with us, and remember you can catch all our episodes on YouTube or columbusneighborhoods.org.
Plus, see our stories on the WOSU mobile app, and you can follow us on social media. We'll see you back here next week on Columbus Neighborhoods.
I see the life that I wanna live, and every once in a while it looks me in the eye and it smiles and says, "You're pretty, but your hair